Season 4, we are having fun by any means necessary, okay? Season 3 was heavy on the healing. Season 4, we gonna have us some fun. False alarm. We still heavy on the healing, y'all.
Welcome to A Change of Heart podcast. I'm your host, Angel Walston. And in this space, we navigate life together. We ask the hard questions like, what is the truth you haven't told? But most importantly, we grow together. And sometimes that leads to a change of heart.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to A Change of Heart podcast. I am your host, Angel. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Hey girl, hey. Welcome to the potty. If this is not your first time tuning in, then you already know it's been a minute. And by a minute, I mean, it's been a year and some change since the last time I uploaded for the podcast. And I can say in hindsight now, I really missed it, but I did need to take some time off. I took some time off for a lot of things, but a whole lot has happened in this last year. And when I ended season 3, I said that, season 3 was heavy on the healing and we were going to have fun in season 4 and we were going to talk about this in season 4. We're going to do this. Y'all, we're still heavy on the healing. There's still some things that we are working through, some things we are processing through, and I'm okay with that. So with all of that being said, I wanted to use this episode specifically to kind of be the trailer teaser for what's to come in season 4. Season 4 is officially dropping next Thursday, February 16th. And I want to give you an idea of what season 4 is going to kind of look like based off of kind of some life updates I'm going to share with you all as far as what has taken place in this last year since I have taken some time off. So, for starters, I knew when I ended season 3 that I was going to take some time off. That was a given. Like, I planned to take January and February off of 2022 just to kind of like regroup. I was feeling burned out and I was just kind of like in a space where I just wasn't in a good space, honestly. So I knew that I wanted to take some time off, but being fully transparent, I was dealing with depression, and it wasn't depression in the sense of like this sadness, although that was a part of it at times, but it was more so just literally lack of motivation, no energy, tired, like literally did not feel like doing anything except for the bare minimum. Like if it had to be done, then like it was getting done, but otherwise, child, count it out. And I was pretty open about different things that I was dealing with, experiencing, such as like the random bouts of sadness episode. So I don't think that this should be a shocker by any means, that I've been pretty candid in regards to like mental health stuff. And so I wanted to take that time to I have a bad habit of pressing through in spite of, and resilience is a great thing, but we also have to learn how to take care of ourselves and not just always push to get stuff done. And so I knew that I needed to take some time off, although I did not intend to take as much time off as I did. But that was the start of 2022. And then in February, I got a new job, which has honestly it's been such a blessing. Like, it really has been great. It is my first time having a Black woman as my supervisor. And that it really has been like an amazing process. And so I am very grateful for the change. With that change, y'all, when I say I go to work early, it is still dark outside when I go to work, but I get off like around lunchtime. So it works out very well, but I'm still adjusting to my work schedule. But also with that, it's like I wasn't getting enough rest. You like put that in, that just adds to the tiredness, adds to like depression, all of that. And so that has been a learning curve, which I do feel like I'm on the other side of it, but I am still adjusting to the work schedule that I have now that has been very different, in the least to say. And along with that, so over the last year, y'all know in season 3, I was saying how, Shawty was trying to gain some weight. We were trying to do this, we're trying to do that. The weight has been gained, okay? So along with everything that has happened in the last year, your girl gained 45 pounds. And here's the thing. I don't feel like it looked bad looks bad because we ain't lost the weight. But it was one of those things where it's like I was trying to gain the weight, and then as it kept going, it was like, ooh, okay. So that has been an adjustment, as well as far as learning to love my body in this new body essentially that I have. And also getting used to, I've always been, I don't want to say used to because you don't actually ever get used to it, but people have felt the need to comment on my weight when I was super thin. And now that I have gained weight, people also feel the need to comment on that. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that, y'all. Like, I feel like that should not have to be a conversation, but and let me say this, there are people who have commented like, oh, I see you gain weight, sis. You look good. Like, I'm not talking about those. That's cute. I don't mind that. I'm talking about like the unsolicited advice on how to lose weight. I'm talking about like these little, like somebody told me, it was like, oh, you got chunky. And I was like, oh, that's not a compliment, ma'am. So that has been an adjustment of just kind of like getting used to this new body that I've never experienced because I've always been super thin, and just kind of like navigating that. Also while liking being curvier. So there's that whole dynamic as well. So yeah. So we're on this somewhat fitness health journey situation that we're figuring out. I don't really plan to talk about that on the podcast because it ain't a whole lot to talk about, for real. We're figuring it out. I'm a part of a workout group. We're figuring it out as we go, guys. Okay, so there's that. The other thing, so along with me not doing the podcast, I also stepped away from Change Hearts as well. And I know it may feel like I kind of like abandoned this ministry aspect, but the truth of the matter is I've been doing a lot more things in person with my church. And that has honestly been fulfilling what I was doing with Change Hearts when I had stepped away from that. And so it's not a matter of me never doing Change Heart stuff again. That's not the case. But YouTube is on pause right now. I will be honest about that. And I'm not really sure what's next for that. But I will say that I had the opportunity, for most of you who've been a part of this or Change Hearts, you're aware that I am a minister. And I was recently reordained under my current church. And so with that, I've become the young adult minister. And so I run a young adult life group, which is a small group at my church, which has been phenomenal. Like, anybody that knows me knows how much I talk about my girls. Like, I really do love the women that are in my group. It has been such an amazing and fulfilling experience for me. And so although I have stepped away for some time from doing like the YouTube videos for Change Hearts, the Bible studies and things, I will come back to that at some point this year, but it really is a balancing act, y'all, that I don't have figured out right now. But I will say that doing this life group has really just, I have such a good group of women, and I'm not just saying that because I'm biased or I feel like I have to say that. Like, I genuinely enjoy the girls who are in my group. Like, it really has been, it has been such a fulfilling experience for me, and I'm excited to be able to lead that again. So that has been amazing. And last, but certainly not, actually, no, this isn't last, but certainly not least. So season 3, I feel like I set it up with this whole like go-getter, we're gonna grind, we're gonna chase our dreams, pursue our purposes, all these other things. I told you all about the content strategist stuff, the mindset coaching, all of that stuff, and I did not do it. And there was a part of me that did feel a little embarrassed, honestly, to push something so much and then not see it all the way through. But with that, I can honestly say, especially how things have played out this year, I would not have been able to do that in the way that would have been probably like the most beneficial and effective. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not viewing it as a failure, but accepting that right now is not the season for that. There are other things that are being prioritized, and I'm okay with that. We're going to talk about that more in a different episode called Dreams Delayed. But so yeah, so I'll save that for that episode. But I will say that with that, I feel like I was very much so focused on like creating content and trying to like keep up with the rat race. And I don't want to do that anymore. I really haven't been feeling social media. I haven't been active on social media for the last year either. And I'm at a place where it's like, I want to talk about the things that I want to talk about. And that's why season 4 is going to be the way that it is. There aren't going to be any guests this season. We're going to just talk about the things that are on my heart that I really feel like can help you all. It's not really, I don't want to say it's not really about pushing you all to do all those things. It's really just kind of talking about process and talking about the different things that we may be struggling with, the things that we may be facing as women, as people, as humans. And I want to just be really candid about that. So with that, last but certainly not least, one of the things that has come out of the last year and some change actually, is the fact that your girl is booed up, okay? I am in a relationship, and I went back and forth whether or not I wanted to share that on social media, which I have. If you missed it, you missed it. It was in my stories a while ago. But I wanted to share it because there will be things that I'll talk about this season that I feel like have been a result of the relationship that I'm in and the person that I'm with. And I feel like it would be too vague to talk about certain things without the context of knowing that I'm in a relationship and it's a result of that. With that being said, I have made a choice to keep our relationship private when it comes to social media for the most part. And I want to honor that in the podcast as well. I've always kind of treated the podcast as like, this is time to talk to you girls, but it's still like a public platform. And I don't want this y'all ain't got to worry about this becoming a relationship podcast, because it ain't going to be that. I feel like there are enough people who talk about relationships, and I don't need to add to that space. And I also want to make sure that I honor and respect his privacy and honor and respect the privacy of our relationship. I'm sharing this because there will be things that I will talk about that are specific to me, not specific to our relationship. But with that being said, I don't intend to talk about my relationship on the podcast. I'm sharing it with you all just to give context for when there are certain things that I share that I'm learning, that I'm growing in, that is a result of that. So yeah, y'all, I will say this. I'm very happy and I am very loved well. So that's on that. But to give you all an idea, with all of that being said, to give you all an idea of what we're going to be talking about for the next couple of weeks on Thursdays when the potty drops, I wanted to talk about things that were near and dear to my heart, that are personal, that are vulnerable, which we're working on this whole vulnerability thing, y'all. And one of those things is talking about just the ups and downs of your faith walk. I struggled with condemnation a lot last year, and I want to share that and kind of talk through some things because I think that there are a lot of people who can benefit from that, even though it's a hard thing to talk about. I want to talk about delayed dreams, being in a position of wanting something, preparing for something, doing all the things for something, and it not happening. We're going to talk about being in a season of wrestling with waiting, having to wait on God, having to wait on something to happen that you've been believing for, that you've been praying for. We're going to talk about getting out of your head because whoo child, it's ghetto in there, okay? We're going to talk about also dealing with fear. Fear has been something that I have struggled with greatly in 2022, and there's some personal stuff that I'm going to share in regards to that. So this is kind of giving you an idea of where we're going. Like I said, it's still heavy on the healing. It's necessary, and I'm cool with that. I felt like there were just some conversations that were helpful and healing for me that I want to share with you all because I truly believe that it can be helpful and healing for you all as well. So season 4, episode 1 is dropping next Thursday, February 16th, and new episodes will come out Thursdays until the end of season 4. And I'm excited to be back. I hope that you all are excited to be back. Let me know if there are any topics that you would like for me to cover outside of relationship stuff. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to talk about that if it's not added to season 4, I may push it to season 5. But I'm excited to be back, y'all. I hope y'all are excited about the podcast as well. So that's all I have for you. Just wanted to give y'all this quick little life update, give you an idea of where we're going for season 4. I'm excited about it. I hope that y'all are excited. And until next time, don't forget, be whole, be healed, and be authentic. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for tuning into A Change of Heart podcast. I hope you were encouraged, and please take a moment to share with a girlfriend, and don't forget to download the episode. Lastly, I would love to connect with you. You can follow me on Instagram at Angel C. Walston and at A Change of Heart podcast. Have an amazing week, and don't forget, be whole, be healed, and be authentic.